Phil Taylor bezwingen konnte. Die Rede ist von Simply the West, Steve West. Steve West tritt gegen einen Mann an, der gerade aus den Top 10 der Welt rausgerutscht ist. Er ist die aktuelle Nummer 11. Einer, der auf der European Tour sehr erfolgreich war, hat schon 3 European Tour Turniere gewinnen können und hat sich viel vorgenommen für dieses Wochenende hier in Sindelfingen. Herzlich willkommen, der Bully Boy Michael Smith! Caller dieser Partie ist the Puppy George Noble.
Well, a couple of Welshmen through in the first 2 matches of this evening's session. Places in the last 16 and the final day of action up for grabs. And Steve West is definitely going to get his ranking prize money because he's not a seed in this tournament. And he made his way through to this stage by beating Chris Dobey, which looked like a bit of a pick'em match, but West won through 6-2 to take on the bully boy Michael Smith. Interesting matchup. Dan Dawson had it down as one of his 3 potential banana skins in the unseeded players. Well, we've already seen 4 unseeded players go through, including Mark Webster earlier on this evening. You think West could be the next one, Paul Nicholson?
Could well be if he keeps his doubles going like he did against Dobey last night. His doubles last night were delicious. But Michael Smith, always a danger.
First leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
One thing I will say is I am a fan of the new shirt of Michael Smith. I thought it was about time he got a new one. He'd been wearing the same one for a few years, and I think sometimes you just need to freshen it up a bit, and he's got some new graphics on his body there now. I think it's very good. I don't think this one's going to take too long. This could be quite swift.
Yeah, certainly caught 2 players who like to get on with it. Michael Smith's had an interesting year or so. He really struggled in 2016. That's not me criticising Michael Smith. He said that himself. He said that he kind of hit rock bottom and he wasn't able to fulfil his potential. There was a point in last year where he went 3 months without a win. Only had 1 win on TV before the World Championship as well, but he's come back pretty strongly this year. It has to be said, he's reached at least the quarterfinals in over a third of the 20 events he's played in.
That's impressive stuff. It's a good bounce back from Michael. I played him earlier this year, and he beat me 6-4. We were 4-all, and he just went out bananas in the last 2 legs.
63.
And he still wasn't happy.
Yeah, he's something of a perfectionist, Michael Smith. This could be a perfect visit from Steve West. Well, not quite, but it matters not if he does that.
In the first leg, Steve West.
And he was fantastic at finishing off legs yesterday, Steve West. 6 out of 7 on the doubles. Only needed 7 shots at double to win 6 legs against Chris Dobey.
You've got to think that Michael Smith's motivation at this point of the season, look at that number next to his name, that 13. That's getting awfully close to that 16th spot, isn't it? He hasn't been a qualifier for European events for as long as I can remember.
140.
So he's used to playing straight into the Saturday and playing a Sunday. So what he wants to do is have a really good event, or a good couple of events, get some deep runs,
100.
and get himself back in that top 10 so he doesn't have to go back to qualifying for these tournaments.
Well, that's a good point, Paul. If Gary Anderson, his mentor, had decided to compete, that would be 14, because he's above him in the Pro Tour Order of Merit right now. Steve West, of course, had been a seed in the previous European Tour events this year, but had to go to the qualifiers and managed to get in this one, but not Gibraltar. Now, the 135 is on, double top.
115.
Well, that one came out of the hand just a little bit late. You could see a tiny bit of an adjustment with the shoulder. Wasn't quite there, but he's coming back anyway.
65. I've required 20.
Shouldn't be a problem. isn't.
Game shot in the second leg, Michael Smith.
1-all.
Early Steve to
It's an
throw
interesting
first.
throwing style
Game
to watch as well, isn't it? 'Cause it's so nonchalant, Michael Smith's chucking routine.
26.
What I like about it is that the lines are good. And I know they talk about lines in dart technique and golf technique, but the lines are brilliant with Michael Smith. He's got a slight
57.
lean to his right leg, which is good because he centres all of his weight from the right shoulder all the way to the right foot. And then his arm starts very low and straight, finishes high and straight. That's why he's such a good scorer, but Steve West is the best scorer in this leg so far.
Yeah, you can't get straighter than that, and you can't score a higher
140.
score.
Not anymore anyway. A few years back when they had the quad board, you get a slightly bigger score.
81.
It's hard enough, isn't it, this game, Paul?
I think Dennis Priestley was good on the quad board, but then again, Dennis Priestley was just good at everything.
134.
Anyway, a century of 180s in the tournament. Michael Smith has left himself a chance to break West's throw. And it's just become an even bigger chance.
170.
Because he doesn't have to do it in 3.
Mike's the kind of player who probably would have gone for it anyway.
134.
But it's a perfect layup. But when he comes back,
98. Michael, you record 36.
218s. We'll give him a 2-1 lead.
In short in the
Bottom
third
corner will
leg,
do.
Michael Smith. Fourth leg, Michael.
It's a break, a
to
throw.
first.
Michael can't wait to get back to the hockey. Good balance, as you can see. There's not a great rocking
60.
forward from Michael, even though he's throwing it so hard. It's the tiniest bit of a lunge from Steve, but solid style.
140.
It's a great camera angle for people to watch at home if you want to get better. Obviously, John Henderson is a bit of an anomaly, and we love him for it.
91.
But if you want to be nice and solid when you're throwing, stay nice and still.
Yeah, nothing moving but the arm, is he?
60.
Forearm from Steve West. He's not happy with the 60 scored. And
100.
Michael Smith will be the happier man in this match so far. He's still the world number 11, Michael Smith. You can, we talk about this so-called bad year. On a 2-year
100.
order of merit system, you can kind of afford a bad year, can't you? But you just can't let it roll into 2.
Yeah, you can have a sensational year and a somewhat not
100.
sensational year. But for me, obviously no disrespect to the guys in the top 10, but I think Michael Smith's better than 11. From what I've seen of his game firsthand,
50.
I think he's a top 10 player for sure.
Destined to be back in the Premier League one day.
105. Stevie records
No
61.
question. He's made for Premier League.
Oh,
there's that finishing from last night again. Lethal. Breaks back in a heartbeat.
Flag Steve to throw first. Game on.
How much does Westy want to win this tournament? Everybody's talking about MVG, who we'll see later. Peter Wright, who we'll see later. But don't discount the 2 guys on stage right now. I'll tell you what,
60.
game after this, don't discount Darryl Gurney. He's a seed now. He's going to have a crack at it.
Well, Smith looking to start with a maximum, unable to do so. But yeah, Steve West is a man who's been going close in tournaments of late. Has had a couple of semi-finals, was beaten 6-5 by MVG in a Pro Tour final at the back end of last year.
135.
So many players now, Paul, who could potentially win tournaments.
100.
So far on the European Tour this year, it's been Michael van Gerwen, the number 1 seed throughout, and Peter Wright, the number 2 seed throughout.
139.
But you wouldn't think that will continue throughout the whole 12 events.
From the outside, as a fan and as a pundit,
91.
it's nice to have different winners now and again. Like when Suljevic won back in Riesa last year. That was probably the final of the year. Hybrex against Suljevic, because it was so unpredictable. Missed doubles,
91.
great games from Suljevic.
70.
Michael Smith can definitely find himself back in the winner's circle. He brings his A game this week. He's already won 3 of these things. better with Steve West over the last year, because it has been the last 12 months where things have changed. He's made a Pro Tour final, beat Phil Taylor on TV at the Grand Prix. He's doing things that he previously wasn't doing as a good player. Now he's become better. Doubles have got better, but I think something's clicked in his head. He's more confident in himself now. What do you think?
That was a word I think I was waiting for you to dig out, Paul. Confident. Seemed to come from nowhere the first couple of runs, but he stayed there. Continued to ride that wave.
35.
But he has finally this weekend made a mess of a finish, and Smith wants a bullseye.
62.
Doesn't find it.
Can just West put it right? For that, wasn't he? He knew it was a bit short.
Madhouse then. Oh, and he's found it, and that will be as valuable as any double he's hit all weekend.
I tell you what, the line, and that camera angle was perfect. The line of that shot was right over the single one. I think he didn't know that was in until George Noble called it. And it's one of those moments you just think, tell me it's game shot, George, and it was game shot.
One leg away then for Steve West, and he doesn't want to give Michael Smith a single chance.
180.
Well, if you want someone to have a three-leg stretch to win the match, Michael Smith is one of those guys. Steve West, perfect start the leg.
Well, he's been averaging less than Smith for the duration of this match. Bully Boy's been above the 100 mark for most of the tie. Yet he finds himself in that position, as mentioned, Paul, needing to win 3 legs on the spin.
57.
We know he can do it, but will he be allowed to?
It's not looking good, because Steve West has still got the throw. Looking to leave 170 again.
58.
If he had a treble 18, it would have left 170, but decided to go back to the 60.
But if they leave it enough, we'll see it. Smith's going to leave a finish.
140.
What do you give for another 180 here? One in. That'll do.
140.
That forces Michael Smith to hit this 164 move.
164 plays 64, and 64 is a shot that Steve West will come back for.
109. Stevie requires 64.
To do to Michael Smith what unseeded players have been doing to him. He's going to get one dart at double top.
24.
And it's a little bit away. Smith gets a reprieve.
15 for tops. Still open for business. Closes the door. That's one down. He needs 2 more. Steve West has had a match dart, and it was a bit of a flyer. But if he takes a deep breath now, he's still got an opportunity. But it becomes a different game now, doesn't it?
140.
All of a sudden, Michael Smith's got the throw here, and then he puts the pressure on Steve West in the next leg. Only if he wins this leg, though, Michael Smith.
58.
Yeah, we're seeing a few 6-5s, aren't we?
131.
Yeah, because there wasn't many yesterday. There was only a couple.
Van der Paas. 6-5 against Joe Mernon. Webster. 6-5 against James Wade.
I think Joe Mernon is he probably wanted to wrap his hands around Big Ben's neck. I mean, no disrespect to Ben, but how did he win that match? Joe Mernon was so much better for the first 10 legs.
121.
Benito Van der Paas is starting to become a grinder. He's starting to grind out games that he's not bossing, but he's just getting through.
There's something to be said for winning when you're not playing your best, and we've seen a few players do that today and over the course of this weekend. But Michael Smith also must be wondering what he has to do. How has he found himself in this position, having averaged around 10 points higher than his opponent for most of the match? West gets another chance
93.
to send Michael Smith to room 101.
Room 101 starts with a 17.84. Just see the pain on his face as if to say, come on, hit it treble. Well, Michael Smith to take it all away, double 18. We're going all the way, it's another 6-5. West got the throw. Who's going to win this one?
Final leg, Steve, to throw first.
Well, we thought it would be close. We struggle to decide which of these pair we're booking a last 16 clash with Cross. I think if Steve West doesn't win from here, he'll be feeling
100.
cross.
Steady start from West.
120.
Oh, great start from Smith, but he gets a bounce out. I don't know whether that just wobbled in the board and came out, or whether it hit a wire.
But he's a player over the years that has let things affect him. He's improved that part of his game.
I think both of them have.
100.
They've both been ones to show their emotions up there and give their opponent some ammunition. But I think they're both improving in that aspect.
You do get bits of bad fortune in darts, don't you? Bounce outs and players taking out big shots against you that are sort of 1 in 25 shots. But Michael Smith has not let that bounce out affect him.
140.
And he's down to a finish first. Although Steve West is going to force him to take it if he wants to move into the last 16. What a visit that is. What a visit this could be.
Oh, it could have been. I tell you what, the pressure was piled on Michael Smith with the brilliance of Steve West. Can he finish it off? Should be able to with that. One more. Gets it. What a great game of darts. Steve West comes out on top. Both guys should take a bow. What do you think?
Fantastic performance from Michael Smith, but in the end it's West who's best, and he moved through to the last 16 to take on Rob Cross tomorrow. Another seeded player departs the Happy Bet European Darts Grand Prix here in Sindelfingen. The pair are going to left to discuss what's gone on there. Steve West, the man who's moving through, and we'll hear what he thought of it, talking to Elmar Polka.
So, damit erreicht auch Steve West den Sonntag. Er ist immer noch ein bisschen nervös. Das war eng, das war schwierig hinten raus. Steve, congratulations. That was a very close one. This 177 was so important at the end. Oh my goodness.
It's the only thing that saved me in the match, I think. I had a match start, but it wasn't convincing. It was miles away. Other than that, I think I made hard work of it.
And then it's a mental game. You're right. It's not about technique. It's just be able to hit this doubles, right?
Just throw and hope. I think last leg. You know, it's my start. I've got an advantage as such. But just make sure you hit a treble in the first go. I did that. I relaxed a bit. It was okay. It was good.
When people talking to me concerning darts, they always ask, how many hours do the professional players practice? How many hours do you practice? You don't practice. Okay, that's cool.
Don't ask me that. I don't know. I throw it as and when I can. If I can get in the board for 2-3 hours a day, I'll try it. Doesn't always work out, but I'll do as much as I can.
Okay. Steve, see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Steve West.